little footer buttons down here we're getting ready to create. Let's add a little bit of space between that. There we go. I'm going to go up here to my move tool, left click on that, and then just drag it until I see a little center purple bar. There it is. Right there. Okay, finally we're going to add the context section of our website. And to do that, we're just going to go over here to where we have our image layer that we created, and Control J to duplicate that. Go down to where it has the image, not the image copy, but go for the image, and then type in contact. Okay, now that we have that, go up here to our move tool and hold down the shift button and just drag it down below it. Make it line up with the bottom of the header that we created over here with the content, and just line that up. Now I'm going to hit Control T to target it and bring this down so it's about this tall. Okay, great. The next thing I'm going to do is add in the Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn logos. You can find these just by going on Google and typing in Facebook logo, Google logo, and LinkedIn logo. I already have those, so I'm going to go ahead and open them up now. So once you've opened up your three logos, they don't have to be exactly the same size. As you can see, mine are three fairly different sizes. So now that we have them all, we're going to do what we did with our picture layer, and that is go to the image itself, hit Control A to select the entire project, and hit X to cut it out. Hit Control V in here and just make sure it is above our contact layer. It doesn't really matter if it's behind everything else. And we'll do that. Go ahead and center it with your move tool. Now we're going to push Control T to target it again. Hold down the shift button in order to maintain the same pixel ratio and everything so it doesn't become distorted or warped. And just slide it down to about that. Next, we're going to go up here and grab in our Twitter logo. So again, Control A and then Control X. Go back to my site. Control V. And we're just going to take our move tool and position it on the contact background that we created. Hold Shift to make it so it doesn't warp. And place it right under our Facebook logo. Bam. And finally, we're going to grab in our LinkedIn logo, and then Control A, Control X, go back to my site, Control V, brings it in, slide it right below our Facebook and Twitter, Control T to copy it, or target it, and make it the same size. Alright, great, close enough. Now one thing we want to do is if we zoom in, we want to get rid of this little blue, and you might have this with some of your logos. The best thing to do is find a PNG logo which will have a transparent background such as the Facebook and the Twitter. For example, this Twitter background is transparent, you can't see any colors, but the LinkedIn logo you do. There's a blue background, it's just all one solid. I can't do anything to it right there, but there's a very simple and easy fix for that. What we can do is go over here to where you see the eraser, hold down the left click and go to Magic Eraser tool. What that's going to do is find whatever pixel you click on and delete all the colors of that pixel. So you'll see it now, it's deleting the blue. It's going to delete the blue. It's going to all be connected, so you just kind of work around, just left clicking to delete all this blue border around here. I can delete more of that white. I could actually even delete this black here too, so it looks a little bit, whoops. And to go back, you just hit Control Alt Z, so that's going to bring you back a step. Yeah, there we go. Just left clicking. Yeah. Don't want to go too much, I'll start deleting everything. Keep that there. Do a little bit more of that. Okay, there we go, close enough. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control T, and I'm going to bring it up just a little bit so it matches the Facebook and Twitter sizes. And I'm going to go over here to my Move Select tool and just slide it right under there. You can also use the arrows on your keyboard to fine tune it, which is what I'll do right now. So I'll just move it around a little bit. Alright, that's good. And for the Twitter logo, move that down just a little bit as well. Excellent. Finally, I'm going to label these so I don't get lost on my layers. I'm going to add this as LinkedIn. This one's going to be Twitter. Let me get to it. And Facebook. Awesome. And I'm actually going to move the Facebook layer above the Twitter and LinkedIn layer, so it's Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. This doesn't serve any, it doesn't affect anything as far as the design goes. It just helps me visually understand what I'm looking at over here in the layer section. It's all, you know, again, so we got the banner and then music and all the way. It's just all organized in a little bit more efficient manner. So I'm going to actually move in the LinkedIn over just a little bit. There we go. Awesome. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is go over here to my text tool, and I'll go right above my contact layer. So I have contact layer highlighted, and I'll click on my text tool. I'm just going to highlight the area that I know I'm going to be creating my text in, and within this text layer we're just going to simply type out the words Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Alright, now that we have those words in there, the last thing we're going to do is make sure we clicked on our text layer. We're going to change these to black. So we have Arial, black, still at 14 point. And we're going to go ahead and center these. So about there. I'm going to go in and space them out a little bit more. There we go. In order to make it a little bit more dynamic, we're going to just bring these letters after the F down a little bit, just for design purposes. It doesn't really affect the overall functionality of the project. There we go. Just makes it look a little bit different. Alright, and then we're going to add a little divider line. So above this, go ahead and click on the Facebook layer. Go to Layer, New, Layer. We'll call this the divider. Go ahead and click OK, and we're going to choose the line tool. Now make sure that you have on the arrowheads, if you click on this little drop down on the far right of all your different shapes, make sure you don't have any arrowheads on. Okay, so keep it so it's no arrowheads at the start or the beginning, and we'll bring the weight from 10 pixels down to 1 pixel. Alright, now if you left click and hold the shift button down, we're just going to draw a simple divider. There we go. And then we're just going to add a little bit of contact information. So we're going to go ahead over here and create another text layer on the other side. Call it My Site. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Up to 14. Take the black, bring it down to regular. Take My Site. I'm just going to go ahead and type in what I had on the last website. So